Your dog is dying from the inside out, and you are likely the silent architect of that decay. This sounds harsh, perhaps even unfair, but the biological reality of the canine brain is far more fragile than we have been led to believe. Most owners think that as long as there is food in the bowl and a walk around the block, their dog is fine. But beneath the surface, a process called synaptic pruning is happening. Their brain is literally shrinking, losing its ability to process joy, recognize commands, and eventually recognize you. The culprit isn't just old age. The culprit is the invisible language you speak every day without saying a word. This is the hidden world of biochemical synchrony. Your dog's brain is not an isolated organ. It is a satellite orbiting your emotional state. Every time you come home stressed, every time you stare at your phone while they stare at you, and every microsecond of emotional disconnect is a chemical signal that tells their brain to age faster. If you don't change how you communicate on a molecular level, you are essentially watching their mind rust away. But it doesn't have to be this way. Today, I'm going to give you 5 biohacks that take seconds but can add years of cognitive clarity to your dog's life. Before we dive into the first hack, if you truly value the deep biological bond you share with your dog, hit the subscribe button. We provide the high-level science that most vets are too busy to explain, and your dog's health depends on you being an informed guardian. Let's start with hack number 1, the oxytocin bridge. Most people look at their dogs, but few truly see them. In the wild, prolonged eye contact is a threat. However, through thousands of years of evolution, dogs have hijacked a specific human neural pathway. When you look into your dog's eyes with soft, focused intention for just 3 to 5 seconds, something miraculous happens. A surge of oxytocin, the bonding molecule, floods both of your systems. But here is the consequence. If you only look at your dog to give commands or scold them, you are starving their brain of this neuroprotective chemical. Without regular oxytocin spikes, the canine brain enters a state of low-level chronic stress. Therefore, their neural pathways for social engagement begin to wither. To fix this, practice the micro-gaze. Every morning before you touch your phone, find your dog's eyes. Hold it for 3 seconds. That's it. You've just signaled to their prefrontal cortex that the world is safe, sparking a wave of neurogenesis that keeps their mind sharp. Hack number 2 is the vagal reset. Your dog's nervous system is governed by the vagus nerve, the highway of the parasympathetic system. When your dog is anxious or aging, their heart rate variability drops and their brain enters a defensive survival mode. In this mode, they cannot learn or repair cells. They are simply existing. Most owners try to fix this with treats, but treats only address the digestive system. You need to address the electricity. By applying firm, slow pressure from the base of the skull down the spine for just 10 seconds, you trigger a mechanical vagal response. This lowers their cortisol levels instantly. If you ignore this physical grounding, your dog remains in a state of high alert, which is neurotoxic. The brain cannot heal while it is under the siege of cortisol. This 10-second reset is the difference between a dog that is waiting to die and a dog that is actively thriving. Now we move to hack number 3, olfactory dopamine rewiring. A dog's brain is 40% dedicated to scent processing. To a dog, smelling is thinking. But here is the problem. We have domesticated the thought out of them. We walk them on the same path, at the same speed, every single day. This creates a cognitive vacuum. Therefore, their olfactory bulb, a massive part of their brain, starts to atrophy from disuse. Imagine living in a world where you are never allowed to read a book or watch a movie. That is what a no-sniff walk feels like to your dog. To biohack this, you must implement scent mapping. 3 times a week, take them to a place they have never been and let them lead. Let them sniff a single blade of grass for 3 minutes if they want to. This isn't a physical workout, it's a cognitive explosion. This activity lights up the brain like a Christmas tree, forcing the brain to create new synaptic connections to process the data. If you deny them this, you are effectively lobotomizing their primary way of experiencing the world. Hack number 4 is perhaps the most difficult because it requires you to look in the mirror. This is the cortisol mirror effect. Because of biochemical synchrony, your dog's heart rate actually synchronizes with yours within minutes of being in the same room. If you are chronically stressed, your dog is chronically stressed. They are absorbing your adrenaline through their skin and through the micro-expressions on your face. This is where the invisible language becomes dangerous. You might think you're protecting them, but your biology is a loud, screaming siren to their nervous system. But if you can master just 2 minutes of deep, rhythmic breathing while touching your dog, you can hack their system using yours as a pacemaker. You become the anchor that stabilizes their brain chemistry. If you fail to manage your own emotional leakage, you are effectively poisoning their environment with invisible toxins that accelerate brain aging. Finally, hack number 5. Micro-Novelty and the play state. Many owners stop playing with their dogs as they get older because the dog seems tired. This is a fatal mistake. The moment you stop introducing novelty, the brain decides it no longer needs to maintain high-level cognitive function. It starts to prune the parts of the brain responsible for problem-solving. To prevent this, you need micro-novelty. This isn't about buying expensive toys. It's about changing the structure of their reality. Put their food in a rolled-up towel. Hide a treat in a different room. Teach them a useless, silly trick that takes 2 minutes. These micro-challenges trigger the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. Think of BDNF as Miracle-Grow for the brain. It repairs damaged neurons and protects against the plaques that cause canine dementia. But of course, if you fall into the trap of a boring, comfortable routine, you are signaling to their biology that the journey is over, and the body always follows the brain's lead. The consequence of ignoring these 5 hacks is a slow, heartbreaking fade. You will see it in the way they stare at walls, the way they get stuck in corners, or the way they look at you with eyes that seem to be searching for a memory they can no longer find. Canine cognitive dysfunction is a nightmare, but it is a nightmare that is largely preventable if you start speaking the invisible language today. Your dog doesn't need a bigger yard or a more expensive bed. They need your biochemical presence. They need you to be the guardian of their neurochemistry. Start tomorrow morning. No phone, just the gaze. No rush, just the vagal reset. No routine, just the scent. By doing this, you aren't just keeping a pet alive. You are honoring the ancient molecular pact between our species. You are ensuring that their final years are spent in the light of clarity, not the fog of decay. They give you their whole lives. The least you can do is give them back their minds.